So hey there guys, so today's video is going to be reading new March releases. Originally this was going to be reading March and April releases, but it would have been way too long. So four of the books that I read in this video, all came out on March 31st, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to read them until like April 1st, so I just read them the whole first week of April. This is me after reading all the books, but I needed to refilm the intro because I said March/April. So I do say that a couple times in the video as well. I'm just letting you know that it's not April releases. So the books we're going to be reading today are, I'll tell you the TBR because I'm like blanking for some reason. The first one is, well, in no actual order actually. Hold on, let me just pull them up. The first one is Starside by Alex Aster. I actually remembered which one it was. If you guys didn't know, I read all of Alex Aster, all of Ass's books. Yes, duh. I mean, some people think her writing is ass. But I really enjoy her books. I've read all of her releases since Light Lark. I've read all of Light Lark. I've read, Grim and Oro as well, and I also read Summer in the City. So this is going to be my 7th book by her, and this is her first adult fantasy book, adult romantasy, so I'm very excited for this one. Then the next one is The Faraway Inn by Sarah Beth Thurst, and all of these authors, by the way, are all authors that I've read from before. So these are all new releases that I'm very highly anticipating for this year. So this one is The Faraway Inn by Sarah Beth Thurst. And I believe this is the first time she's went back to YA for a while because the last couple of books that she's written have been adult cozy fantasy. And I've read 2 of her books before, and that is The Spell Shop and The Enchanted Greenhouse, which are both in the Spell Shop world. The third one's coming out in July, and actually we just got the release date for the 4th one today and the title, which is very cute, but we haven't even read the 3rd one yet, so I'm surprised she's even announcing the 4th one, but it's awesome. But anyway, so we're reading this one. So this is my 3rd book by her. Then the next one is What We Did to Survive by Megan Lowley. This is my 3rd book by her, and this is a YA thriller. And these all came out March 31st. They all came out the same day. And then the last book is Game On by Navessa Allen, which is the last book in the Into Darkness series. So this is the last book in the trilogy, and I audiobook all of these. So I am going to be audiobooking this one. The Starside and The Faraway Inn I read physically, and then What We Did to Survive I borrowed from the library, and also borrowed the audiobook from Libby as well. And then Game On I also borrowed from Libby. And then the last book that we are reading is Beneath by Ariel Sullivan. And this one is the prequel to Conform, which I read Conform back in February, which I'm glad that I did read it in February because I had no idea we were getting another installment in this series. But this is technically the prequel. It is the prequel to Conform. And then we are getting book 2 to Conform later this year in October. There's 10 million new romantasy releases coming out in October of very highly anticipated sequels that I'm waiting for. So don't even talk to me about September, October, or November, because they're starting them in August to November. So it's going to be a big romantasy year with ACOTAR 6 as well. And I need to reread ACOTAR, all of ACOTAR too. I'm like kind of getting the urge to read it very soon, but there's so many other series for me to read before I go back to it. So anyway, those are the books we are going to be reading in this video. And I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get also I just wanted to say, I'm going to be adding one more book to this TBR, and that is The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. This one also came out on the same day as Beneath, and we'll talk about Beneath in a second. But Abby Jimenez, you know, is my favorite romance author, and I was very highly anticipating the 2nd book in the Say You'll Remember Me series, so of course I'm going to be reading her book. I was including it in another vlog, but I decided to scrap that vlog and just make it March new releases instead. So we're going to be reading it. And that's actually the first book that I read in this video before I talked about the other ones, because obviously it came out before this. And then Beneath was actually the last one that I ended up reading. So you guys will see that at the end. But I will put it as in the order of how I read them. But also I wasn't intending on reading Beneath. I did talk about that in the TBR, right? I did. I'm not like tripping. But because of the way that Conform left off, but I was intrigued to read book 2 in Conform, which comes out in October. Then I was like, I probably should read the prequel, or I wasn't going to read it like right away. And then I ended up reading it because I saw like so much hype around it, because like Conform has been really hyped lately. So I was very intrigued to read it. So let's get into it, and let's start with The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. Okay, so hey there, guys. So I have had such a busy day. I am literally so exhausted. But if I didn't make an update about this book now, I would have finished it already. Because I have just been listening to the audiobook literally since last night at 2 a.m. It's now 12 a.m. on Wednesday. But The Night We Met came out by Abby Jimenez on March 24th, and I finally got my physical copy, and this is what she looks like. She's so beautiful. And then this is the back, and then these are the edges. Just such cute, like, fireworks sprayed edges. And then this is what the end papers look like. Really pretty, like, fireworks. And it's the same on the back, I believe. Let me just show you guys the edges without the where we are. It's fine. I'll just find it again. Just really pretty. But I'm almost done with this book already, you guys. I am on chapter 42, page 309, and there's 383 pages of this book. I feel like I'm going to do the same thing that I did with Say You'll Remember Me, where I basically, because her audiobook voices are just so good. I love the male narrator that she uses. I know there's some controversy about him right now, but honestly, like, I still support Abby Jimenez. Like, that has nothing to do with her. Like, he narrates all of her books, and, you know, that's, you know, it's, if I had a problem with Abby Jimenez, let me just hit myself in the face, then that would be way different. Obviously, I wouldn't be buying her books anymore, but so anyway, I just had such a busy day that I just only had a chance to listen to the audiobook. I didn't even get the physical book until like 4:30 this afternoon, because I wasn't able to get it from the library and I didn't really have time to read today anyway physically, so I'm just going to read now. And I'm so freaking tired that I just kind of want to finish the audiobook, but also I want to get some reading done before I go to sleep. But I just didn't think I knew I was going to be out for a while today, but I didn't think it was going to be like mostly the entire day. I only came home to get ready to go back out again. So I went to the podiatrist today because I don't know if I've said before in another vlog that I've been struggling with, I don't know why I'm holding it for dear life, that I've been struggling with plantar fasciitis in my foot. So I had to go finally get it checked out because I've been putting it off long enough. I haven't been wearing like a brace for a while because I stopped working like 2 months ago at Apple. So I didn't find it necessary. So like I said, I'm just trying to take care of as many health things as possible. I've been to the dermatologist. I've been to the gynecologist. I've been to the dentist, and then I went to the podiatrist today, and I still have to go to the gastrologist and my regular doctor, and I have a haircut on Friday. So I'm just trying to get as many things done as possible. I also used the dermatologist shampoo that he prescribed to me. Look at how good my hair looks. It looks amazing, so shiny. It just looks so much healthier only using it like once. I mean, this is pretty much how my hair looks when I use my regular shampoo, but it looks even better, and it's like barely itching. itching. It just feels so clean, and I'm like, why didn't I start using this sooner? But, he's told me to start using it, because I washed it the day before I saw him, and then I washed it last night. So that was like 6 or 7 days. And it worked amazingly. So now I just need to keep on using it. But I am getting my haircut on Friday, but at least I washed it last night. So that's like a couple days in between. So anyway, and then I decided to get lunch there. Well, actually, after the podiatrist, I had to go get new sneakers because, they want you to wear like certain sneakers. Because I have to wear this big ass brace. It has like laces in the front and you have to like Velcro it. And then I needed bigger sneakers to fit it over my foot so I could wear the brace because my regular sneakers don't fit. So I had to go get those, and I was there probably like 40-ish minutes or so because I got out of the appointment. I don't even remember what time it was. I think it was like 2:20-ish or something because my appointment was like at 1:40. So anyway, then I went there, and then since I was like right next to like one of my favorite boba places and also my favorite pizza place here, I decided to get 2 slices of pizza and a boba before I went back to like, because even though it's still in my town, it's not really that close to my house. It's still like 10 minutes away. I mean, that's not that far, but when you have to get ready for something, it feels like it's a little far. So I did all of that, and then I ate in my car while I was still there. And it was so good. It was so good. I haven't had that pizza in a while. And I finished an episode of Free Run in the car too, because I was like, at least I can watch at least one episode of Free Run before I go out later. Because usually I watch one when I play with Merlin in the kitchen when I'm eating my breakfast, but I didn't have time today, or I watched like half of it, so I finished the other half when I was in the car. And then I went to Barnes and Noble because obviously I wanted to pick up my copy of The Night We Met, and then also I ended up picking up 4 other books because I had a $10 reward. I had my discount and I had a store credit from returning another book. So I was like, but also I still had to pick up this because obviously we were going to go get this today. But then I ended up running into my book bestie, Felicia, and she was like, yeah, I came here because I wanted to. She probably didn't text me because she wanted to finish the book that she was reading because I finished the book. We were both buddy reading King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby, and it's our first book by him. And we want to read Razorblade Tears now, like so badly. Oh my God, it was such an amazing book. I gave it a 5-star. I loved it. I was crying. It was just so good. I'm just so fucking tired. So we ended up, book shopping together for like 40, I think a good like almost 40 minutes. And she got, one book, but she was like, yeah, I just finished reading and I have to go meet my other friend. And I was like, yeah, I'm meeting Chris to go see Project Hail Mary. So I walked around with her. And then by the time I got home, it was 5 o'clock. So I, got my makeup on because obviously I didn't put my makeup on before that because I had to go to the appointment. Obviously I wasn't going to put on makeup. So I got my makeup on and just changed my shirt, and then I had to go right back out and meet Chris for dinner. So we got dinner and then we saw Project Hail Mary. So, and then I had to go pick up my prescription, my anti-inflammatory that they want me to take for my foot on the way home. So, yeah, very full day. I am exhausted. So, and I do have an interview at Barnes & Noble tomorrow, which I'm so excited for. I'm hoping I get the job. It's literally the one that I bought this and everything, and I go there all the fucking time. I'm there like 3 or 4 days a week at least to read. I was hoping to have time to read this when I went there because I thought I was going to be at Barnes a little bit earlier. But I didn't get to Barnes until like a little bit after 4, and then I didn't leave until like 4:50. So it was just so good to see her for a little while. So anyway, about the book, and also Project Hail Mary was so fucking good. We were so happy that we saw it because I got my best friend to listen to the audiobook before we saw the movie. And he's not a fiction reader. He's barely a reader. Like, he only listens to nonfiction. But he just, he listens to a lot of, like, self-help books or, like, Buddhism books because he converted to Buddhism like a couple years ago. But I was like, dude, you have to listen to this book before we see the movie. And he's like, he's so glad that he did because he loved it. And he was making me watch Free Run. So I'm on episode 24 now. I think I only have like 4 or 5 episodes left of season 1, and I love it. I think it's so goddamn good. He's like, I knew you would love Free Run, and I was like, I knew you would love Project Hail Mary, so then we had to see the movie together, and we loved it. So, yeah, that was my day. It was a great day, though. I'm just exhausted. So anyway, this book is about Larissa and Chris. And Larissa lives with her mom, and she is struggling to, start her own business because the job that she has, she's a server. So she tries to make money, but, she doesn't really have enough money to live on her own still. But her mom, like, always dates, like, loser boyfriends. And the boyfriend that she currently has ends up moving in with them. And she, like, can't stand him. And she, like, is dying for her own space. Also, her mom is a heavy smoker, and she, like, smokes inside all the time. And that's basically what Larissa's situation is. And then with Chris is Larissa's boyfriend's best friend. So that is the romance trope in this book. And Larissa is dating Mike, and Mike is a alcoholic. He literally can't do much with Larissa socially, even like something that's like a big step in their relationship, without getting drunk. So she's struggling with, so basically one night at a concert where they met, I think Chris was at the concert with Mike, but Mike was the one that drove her home that night. But Chris has constantly regretted that it wasn't him over Mike. And that's what, caused Larissa and Mike to start dating. And the thing is that Mike isn't a bad guy. Just the alcohol makes him do, things that he regrets. But he's never, like, trying to harm Larissa. But he's doing things that, is making Larissa's life harder. So, because anyone that struggles again with alcoholism or addiction, it sometimes is just as hard on the people around you as it is on the actual person that's going through it. So, because, I do like that she's concentrating a lot on, like, the people around him, and what they're going through as well. Like, but I like that this one is not as sad as Say You'll Remember Me. I mean, there's some really, really cute moments, but this one was a very, very slow burn one. I think I liked Say You'll Remember Me a little more, but I think I liked this more towards the middle and towards the end, because in the beginning I thought it was a little bit slow, and I wasn't, like, absolutely obsessed with them, because, technically, Chris, he likes Larissa so much, but he knows obviously he can't be with her because she's with Mike. So, but he's always doing, like, these little acts of service for her, which, we know that Abby Jimenez is the queen of acts of service men in her books, because that's literally, like, her love language. And it's just so cute. And honestly, like, us as females, that's, like, the thing that we respond to the most, is men doing selfless things for us, because we do that for them all the time. So yeah, I'm loving it. It's really good. I don't know if it's going to be a 5-star, because again, I thought it was a little bit slow for them to finally be together. Like, I understand what her struggle was, but we're at page 300 and they still haven't kissed yet. But they're, like, just starting to, he's, like, telling her, like, everything that he's been doing for her. So it's not really that spoilery because it's a romance, so there's not really much to spoil. That's basically the whole story at this point. So, and since I'm so far into it, I think I'm like 80% into it at this point. So, but the thing is that the thing that I hate about reading an Abby Jimenez book is that I literally cannot stop, even though I haven't even read a single page of the physical book. But the thing is that I have to finish her books because I always need to know what happens. But then I finish them so quickly. Like, I'll always finish them on, like, release day, pretty much. That's what's happened. Because I've only started reading her and reading her books when they come out since They'll Remember Me. Like, I read Just for the Summer, like, a couple months after it came out. Because I read all of her other books first. Because I wanted to read Part of Your World and Yours Truly before I read Just for the Summer. Because I wanted to read them in order. Since I fell in love with Part of Your World and Yours Truly and Just for the Summer, I was like highly anticipating Say You'll Remember Me like so much, and then that was the last new release that I was anticipating from her, because like I only had just started reading her in I think July of 2024, and her books usually come out like March or April. Because, all the big spring romances come out March, April, and May. So, the summer romances come out in May, like Carly Fortune and Catherine Center and all those other bigger authors. But I'm going to go because I'm so fucking tired. So I'll update you guys when I finish it, and I will give you my rating. So bye for now. Okay, I did not realize that I didn't make a clip of me finishing The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. Because I think I finished it like 1 or 2 in the morning, and then I was going to say my thoughts the day after, and I guess I didn't. So The Night We Met, I gave it a 4.25 stars. It was definitely not a 5-star. But I love Abby Jimenez's writing that I can't really dislike any of her books. Like, I'm a little biased, but also like, if someone's gonna write a boyfriend's best friend book, I'm gonna like it regardless if it's by Abby Jimenez, even though that's not my favorite trope. But I've been seeing a lot of reviews of this book of a lot of people not really loving that. And I do have to agree with that, but also like, it was just a too slow burn for me. Like, we all knew that Chris was gonna be with her, so that Chris was going to be with Larissa. I didn't really feel that bad for Mike. I felt bad that Chris was hiding his feelings for so long, thinking that he was protecting Larissa and also Mike. But also, like, you're going to punch him in the face because you're in love with his girlfriend, even though he's struggling with alcoholism. So I didn't really get that. And also, like, even after, like, we all knew that he was going to be with her anyway, so this is not really a spoiler. So after, like, they break up, Chris doesn't, like, automatically, like, move in on her, because first, ew, like, what the fuck? That'd be really fucked up. But also, she kind of starts living in his apartment. Which I was like, I mean, he's giving her the fucking world. But also, like, she's, like, struggling financially. So, like, she finally moved out of her mom's place. But her mom does care about her. But, like, her mom, like, dates, kind of, like, guys that are, like, kind of losers. And also, her mom just, like, smokes up a smokestack. I can't remember if I talked about this in my first and only check-in of this book, because I finished it so quickly. But that's the thing about her books, is that once I start them, I literally cannot put them down. But now I'm not, like, agonizing waiting for the third book, because, like, I didn't love this one. So I feel like I can wait for the next one, But she did already announce the third one coming out next year, and is probably going to, I think it's March 2027, which her books come out every March. So, anyway, so she starts living with him because she finally moves out on her own, but also she had lost her job. I'm not going to say how she lost her job because that's kind of spoilery. And, like, he offers her to live with him. And I'm like, but this, like, you're destined to, like, be together then. But, like, they kind of just live together. But then she says, like, she has to move out because she's like, we can't just be roommates if we can't, like, talk about how we really feel about each other. So, because, you know, they feel like it's wrong to get together so soon, but also, like, they can't deny their feelings for each other. I think it was, like, they waited, like, not even 2 months or something. But it just felt a little cheaty because, like, you know, you're not emotionally over this person yet. So I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I did really like it. So 4.25 stars. So the next book we are going to be going into is Starside by Alex Astor. Okay, so hey there, guys. So I figured I would make a check-in on where I'm at in Starside by Alex Astor. I'm almost 50% of the way through, but if I don't make a check-in now, then I'm going to forget, or I'm going to be more than halfway through. And I think this is a good time to tell you guys what's happening. So I'm on page 230, so it's about like almost 50%, and it's like, it says in the audiobook it's 46% in. So I think that's a good place to tell you guys what's up. So this book is about a girl named Eris, and she is in like this kind of not competition or trials, but basically there's a bunch of, I would say, challenges. Not, I wouldn't say they're typical. It's a typical trial setup. It's like you have to go through these certain tasks in order to survive, but it's not like they're assigned to do it. It's like they just have to make it to the other side, 2-star side, to get like their sword that they need to bring magic to their town, or their, you know, sibling if they need it, or their family, to like make a better life for themselves. So she is trying to, her sister had passed, or there was like an attack on her village like a while ago, and her sister ended up, you know, getting killed. So she competes in this, I would just say competition. I wouldn't say typical trials, though. It's not a typical trial setup. How many times do I have to say that? But anyway, so she has to compete against, you know, this one guy named I forget his name. Something, I don't know why they keep on saying his full name too. Like, it's amazing how I don't remember the name. Even though she's said it like maybe 10 times at this point. His name is Raker, idiot. I just saw it on one of the pages. And then there's this other guy that's, you know, pretty much the love interest. And he wants to originally kill her, but it's kind of a little similar to Fourth Wing in that way. You know, how Xaden wants to kill her, and then, you know, we all know what happens in Fourth Wing. If you haven't read it at this point, I'm sorry, but it's Fourth Wing. It's kind of feeling like a combination of Fourth Wing, Direbound, and A Court of Silver Flames, because Direbound was similar to Silver Flames, like where they have to climb the mountain and they have to like face, but Nesta only had to climb the mountain for her own progression. She wasn't climbing it for any kind of competition. It was only for her. But Direbound, you know, they have to climb the mountain to like bond with a direwolf. This doesn't have any bonding in it, so it's not that similar, but it's just giving me Fourth Wing, Direbound, Silver Flames vibes. So that's how it's feeling right now. But anyway, the love interest, what is his name? Wait, Harlan Racker. I thought they were two different people. Because she has to work with, what is the main male character's name? Am I dumb? Why don't I see his name at all? Harlan Racker is such an ass. Basically, that's what's happening. I'm pretty sure that, can I speak again? I'm pretty sure that's not the main male character's name. Hi. I didn't even know my mom was off. So anyway, yeah, that's what's happening. So she like is forced to like work with him, and I'm pretty sure it's somebody else. I don't think it's Racker. I thought Racker was the enemy who was trying to kill her. I mean, like the other guy was trying to kill her too. And the voice for the main male character is the same voice as the narrator for Quicksilver. So I was like, I know his voice, and I was like, oh my god, I'm like so obsessed with hearing his voice again. So, and he's funny in this book too. So yeah, that's what's going on. I will update you guys when there's more happening, but that's pretty much where we're at right now. So bye. Okay, so there, guys. So I wanted to let you guys know that I already finished Starside by Alex Aster. Binged it today, and I just really wanted to finish it before Meg's wedding tomorrow, because I'm not going to have as much time to read. I still will probably get a decent amount into the next book that I'm going to read for this video. But yeah, I liked it. I actually thought the ending was pretty good. I felt like it was a little bit too similar to like Direbound, Fourth Wing, and like Quicksilver, and like I said, A Court of Silver Flames, and people said The Hunger Games too. But, and I thought that I feel like the smut scenes in Romantasy at this point are getting pretty damn repetitive. Even though this was exactly what I was in the mood for right now, is that I really wanted to read a good Romantasy, but again, this felt very YA still. But I didn't really feel the tension with them as much. But I thought their banter was funny, and I did like the action, but oh yeah. Yeah, just give me a few minutes. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have much else to say. It did leave off on a cliffhanger though, and the twist at the end, oh my god, like I did not figure that out until she stabs somebody, and then I'm like, oh, what? So that was interesting, but also, if you've read Air of Illusion, it's just the opposite, but like the opposite character. And that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah. But basically, and also he was the main male character, Racker. What the hell is his name? Chaos, I think his name was. He was the other enemy that was trying to kill her in the them trying to reach Starside. And basically, like, Starside, I believe, is where the magic dwells, and then Stormside is, I forget exactly what Stormside is, but I think that's where she got her powers from because of the lightning and stuff. And her power is that she can't burn. Like, she is basically like immune to flames. And then she explains how she loses her family. It's actually pretty sad. So there were certain things that I liked about this. I didn't love everything, but overall I think I would still give it, I think I'm gonna give it a 3.85 out of 5 stars. I wasn't obsessed with it, but I feel like a 4 is a little bit, I was thinking about giving it a 4-star, but I'm like, I didn't love it, to give it a 4-star. I'm still going to give it a 4-star on Goodreads, though. Like, it wasn't exactly a 5-star because it was too predictable, and I think a 3-star is a little bit low, but I still had a fun time with this. I always have a fun time with her books. So, yeah. So, that's it. But, yeah, I just finished it. So, the next book we're going to be reading in this video, and the next book that I want to read, is The Faraway Inn by Sarah Beth Durst. because she's actually having a author's event for this book on the 8th uh, in a couple towns away from me. It's actually near my best friend's place. She's doing a signing at the Barnes and Noble in Smith Haven Mall. So I kind of want to go and have her sign my book. And also, I really want to read this next. Anyway, I'm like really in the mood to read this. And also because the edges just scream spring to me. And I kind of wanted this to be my read when I go to Meg's wedding. I just thought this would be the perfect little read. So I'm excited because it's funny that this one read very YA and this one is a YA cozy fantasy, and we'll see. But I'm very excited to see if it like maybe reads a little bit more adult than Starside. Because I love Sarah Beth Durst's writing as well, but these are both authors that I've read from before. Also, the other two that I'm going to be reading that came out March 31st. Actually, mostly all the books that I'm reading in this video are all from authors I've read before, like Tahereh Mafi, uh, Sarah Beth Durst, Alex Astor, Navessa Allen, and Megan Lowley. I've read all of their books, and Sasha Payton Smith. So, yeah, so I'm very excited for this one. I think this one's going to be really cute. Um, this one says, when 16-year-old Kalisa arrives at her great aunt's B&B in rural Vermont for the summer, she's shocked to find a rundown inn rather than the cozy bed and breakfast she was expecting. Grumpy and eccentric, Auntie Z is determined to keep anyone from messing with her beloved inn, even though she clearly needs help. To convince her great aunt to keep her around, Kalisa sets to work fixing up the inn, enlisting extra help from the groundkeeper's handsome son. But the longer she stays, the surer she is that there's something strange about the B&B and its guests. Something almost otherworldly. The inn is keeping a magical secret, but to protect the place she's come to love, Kalisa must unravel the truth before it's too late. So, it just sounds really good. I'm really excited. And again, this book is just so beautiful. Love the sprayed edges so much. I'm so obsessed with them. So yeah, I will check in with you guys when I'm halfway through that book. I probably should be maybe by Saturday, depending on how much I read of it tomorrow afternoon, because I can't listen to it in the car with my best friend, but I will listen to it when when I go get my hair blown out and when I'm doing my makeup. So we'll see how far we get. So yeah, bye. Okay, so hey there guys. So I don't really have a voice right now, so I'm gonna make this as short as possible because I did go to a wedding yesterday. I think I told you guys that. My hair still looks really good from, honestly, I could wear it like this to a wedding today and it would still be like looking really good. Like I can't believe it held the curl for this long. Oh God, she just did my hair so well. So anyway, I had a wedding last night, so it was just such a fun time. So I didn't really get to say where I'm at in The Faraway Inn by Sarah Beth Durst. So I'm more than halfway through this book at this point. I'm on page 250. So, but I pretty much have like nothing to do today until dinner. One of her friends might come pick up her flowers later that, you know, because obviously people give away centerpieces at the end of the night for weddings. So she wanted to take one for Easter. And she didn't have a car to go to the wedding. One of her friends dropped her off. So, she was like, where am I going to keep these flowers? And I was like, I'll just put them in my car. It's not a big deal. She's like, oh my God, that's so sweet of you. But I also have like her leftover food from yesterday and also like her 2 picture frames of like the pictures that we all took together there. So hopefully she'll come pick them up later. She might be hungover though, so I drank quite a bit last night too, but I stopped around like 11:30 even though I wasn't even driving. I don't like drinking like that late. I still drank like 4 drinks at the wedding, so I had enough. So anyway, I'm up to page 250 in this. I'm reading this so I can go to her author's event for this book on Wednesday. So it's actually been really fun that like Long Island's been getting some like great new authors this year, and I've been trying, well, not new authors, like I've been trying to go to as many authors events on Long Island as possible this year. And we've had a lot more this year, I feel like, or maybe I just didn't really keep track last year, but I want her to sign my copy of this and I want her to sign the spell shot for me. So anyway, this book is just like the epitome of spring and I'm just eating it up because like we're literally in the like first week of spring and or like the second week of spring actually, and it's just like so perfect. It's like such a perfect seasonal read for now. So anyway, the main character's name is Kalisa, and she goes to this inn because she wants to get away from her current situation, but also like she just finished school up and she wants to go to this inn over the summertime and kind of like reconnect with her great aunt who runs this inn. Her name is Auntie Z. And there's basically a lot of tension between the two of them because Auntie Z like doesn't want her there. And she's like, "You're not welcome here. Why did you come here?" But then Kalisa tries her hardest to like impress her and on doing like everything that she can to clean the inn, to maintain it, to help her out with it because Auntie Z does really need help with the upkeep of it, but she doesn't want her help because she's still kind of in a she's in a huge fight with uh Kalisa's mom, and she like basically left her like years ago and made her maintain the inn by herself. So she's kind of held a grudge as long I'm not going to hold it anymore. She's held a grudge for that long. And Kalisa is trying to get away from this guy that like broke her heart, like, you know, first teenage love. And she meets this groundskeeper slash gardener slash he does everything in the inn. Auntie Z like makes all the food and he does like all the gardening work, but his dad is actually missing. But you know, he's like not missing where they can't find him, but it's more like he's not gonna come back to the end because there's like something that happened that like it's not really, you know, it's kind of like a strained relationship with him and the dad, so it's a little sad. But anyway, so I love how I'm rhyming again with the dad. It's a little sad, but whatever. So anyway, this inn is obviously magical and Kalisa needs to find out like why everything is so enchanted there and why, you know, Auntie Z holds this grudge and also the inn is in fear of closing. And I always feel like that's the typical story that happens with like anything that has to do with an inn, but this book has just been so cute and funny that like even though it's like a cliche kind of plot, I'm still having a good time reading it because it's so funny and I really enjoy her writing. This is again my third book by her. So, yeah, so I should finish it up today because again, I really don't have that much to do today. My friend just has to pick up her flowers and then we're going to dinner later because my mom has like a gift certificate for one of our favorite taco places here. So we're probably not gonna go until like I don't know. It is Saturday night, so they're usually really busy, but I'll see if she wants me to make a reservation. If not, then we'll just go. I really don't care. So anyway, but that's not until like 5 or 6 o'clock. So I'm gonna spend the next like 3 hours at home. Because I'm just so tired from last night. Also I did start the next book that I'm gonna go into on my Kindle, and I've been reading it on and off for the last couple of nights. Let me just open it up. So I did start but I'm not on the cover of it, but I don't think you guys care. I did start What We Did to Survive by Megan Lowley. I'm only on page 8, so I'm only 3% in. And so far, I feel like with her books as well, I mean, I think I'm gonna enjoy this, but also her after That's Not My Name, I feel like her books have been very like even though, yes, they are YA books, so they are going to be juvenile, but like, That's Not My Name was just such a perfect YA thriller. It was so good. It creeped me out. It made me cry. It made me on the edge of my seat most of the time. That I feel like I fear with her books that hers is like kind of similar to Navessa Allen, but they're still better than Navessa Allen's trilogy because I feel like this is very young, the way that it's starting off, but also like I am intrigued to see what's happening, but also I feel like the dialogue is a little bit cringe in the beginning so far. So it's just, I don't think I'm going to have another 5 star by Megan Lawley anytime soon because, but I don't know. It might just be a build right now because I'm barely into it, but I've been seeing some reviews and people are still liking it. It's not like they're hating it. It's just like, I fear with hers that I'm not going to have another 5 star thriller by her, but that's okay. She's still a solid author. So, author. And also, I did get a little bit further into Game On. I'm just giving you guys my thoughts as I go along because I'm listening to that while I'm listening to these books too. And now I'm 50% into Game On, and I'm really not liking it that much because tell me why you think a threesome is dark romance. Like, I don't know. It's just like it's kind of like randomly placed out of nowhere, and now we're like, oh my god, they haven't had sex yet, but they're having sex with another guy. And I don't know, it just feels like weird, and I'm like, can we get some like more plot happening or like I don't know. I feel like I'm lost in this book because I feel like this plot doesn't know where it's going. And that I feel like we've lost the plot pretty much. I don't know why I didn't just say that. So I really feel like DNFing it because I'm like just it does have its moments and it's funny, but like I'm still waiting for some dark romance to happen. And like at one point it was a little bit weird with him saying, "Oh, I've been wanting to hurt her." And I'm like, "What?" Like that's borderline a little abusive. Sorry, but like why would you be saying that? Like it's different when like the guy is like into it and he's like, you know, using like handcuffs or like spanking her or whatever. Sorry if this is TMI, but it's dark romance. Like if you don't read dark romance, like then bye. But like I didn't mean to be rude, but it's just, you know what I mean. Like if that's not for you, then it's not for you. But anyway, I just thought that was such a weird sentence. I'm like, huh? Why would you want to hurt her? Like, that's not the way that dark romances are really supposed to be. It's supposed to be like, I can't wait to show her, like, what I mean. That would be different than saying, like, I can't wait to hurt her. Or I've been wanting to hurt her. I don't know. It just really turned me off. And I was like, do I even want to listen to this anymore? But I only have like 3 or so more hours left. But I don't know if it's worth continuing when I could just start my reread of The Rose Bargain and move on to other audiobooks I would like to listen to over this one. But like I said, we're almost done with the trilogy because, like I said before, I want to reread The Rose Bargain before The Thorn Queen for this video. So I love how I said I was going to make this clip super short and it's like 11 minutes long. But yeah, I haven't been rambling too much in these clips. So yeah, I will check in with you guys when I'm done with The Faraway Inn. I'm pretty much 65% of the way through. So again, I'm like way further than 50%. And what we did to survive, basically, I forgot to say what's going on. So we have the main character goes on vacation with her best friend. And she kind of has like this crush on her brother, on her best friend's brother. And they go away to like kind of take their minds off of, school and all of that. And like she says that you need to get a boyfriend. And she's like, I'm not really like that. But her best friend knows that she really likes her brother. So she's kind of like fucking with her. It's kind of giving a little bit of White Lotus vibes right now. And her friend decide to like go out on the water. And that's what I'm up to right now. So really, like, not much has happened, but like I have a feeling they're gonna get stranded in the water, and then it's, what they can do to survive that. So they might go a little bit crazy. They might not have any food or water. So they might start, flipping out on each other, and bad things might really happen. Maybe it'll become a little bit Lord of the Fliesy. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see where it goes. So yeah, that's it. I will check in with you guys when I finish the Faraway Inn and when I get further into what we did to survive. So yeah, bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. I wanted to give you guys an update on where I'm at in What We Did to Survive by Megan Lowley. I'm on chapter 15, page 168, so I'm more than halfway through already. Um, I just read like a couple chapters on my Kindle, maybe only like two and a half. And then I just picked up in the audiobook again, so yeah, I read like maybe like 15 pages or so. Um, Just because, yeah. So anyway, but I only have 2 hours left in the book, and in the audiobook I have less than an hour. Now I have like an hour and a half left or something, so I'm gonna finish it tomorrow afternoon already, or possibly tomorrow morning. But I think my feelings have stayed the same since when I first said that I started the book. I'm liking this, but I'm not like, I'm still not getting those feelings that I got when I read That's Not My Name. That book was like YA thriller perfection. That was one of the best thrillers that I've ever read. Like adult and YA combined. It was better like than some of like Frida McFadden's books or some like adult thrillers that I've read. So I think that she's probably had like more pressure from, I feel like No Place Left to Hide creeped me out more than this one. It definitely wasn't 5-star feelings, like That's Not My Name, but I felt like that one was a little bit like more suspenseful than this. This one I'm still like wanting to know what's gonna happen. But oh my god, one of the characters is pissing me off so fucking much. She's so insufferable that I almost like just didn't care anymore, but I'm not gonna DNF it because again, I'm 60% of the way through. And I want to see what happens at the end because I feel like everything's gonna unhinge like the last 20%, which is usually what happens in thrillers, but so the three main characters we have, I forget the main character's name actually. I don't remember her name. Let me see. I remember everybody else's names because they keep on saying their names more than hers, but Hannah. Okay, so Hannah and Emmy go to Mexico for like a summer trip. And I think it's a summer trip or maybe it's spring break or something because but they like, got into like their colleges already, so maybe it's like their last senior trip before they graduate or something. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So they're in Mexico and Emmy is Hannah's best friend and um Jackson is Emmy's brother. And they're on this trip and Emmy meets this guy named Ben and Emmy's like a very they're all teenagers obviously, it's a YA. She's a very impulsive girl when it comes to boys because teenage hormones and all that. So she meets this guy Ben and she's always wanted to, travel and like sightsee and all of that. But there's this huge storm coming, so like no boats are going out on the water. So Ben finds this guy that like is able to take them out uh in the storm, and Emmy's like begging Jackson and Hannah to go with her, but then she's like, fuck this, like I'm just gonna go with Ben and you guys can stay here. And then Jackson's like, well, I can't let her go on the boat without me because like, I'm responsible to protect her. So and then Hannah's like, I'm not just gonna hang out at the resort alone, so they all go on the boat together. And obviously the storm wrecks the boat and they are now stranded in the water on the boat. Like it doesn't wreck it completely, but like there's a certain uh piece of the boat that like prevents them from sailing or like the motor dies. So like they can't go anywhere. So they're now stranded in the water and they're trying to figure out how they're going to survive the water, and that's why it's What We Did to Survive. But the thing that is pissing me off is the best friend, Emmy. I'm finding her to be, regardless if she explained exactly why she was doing what she was doing, she was pissing me off so much and she's become so insufferable because I'm like, how are these two girls best friends? It makes it sound like Emmy doesn't even really care about her best friend. So basically, like this guy Ben, they really are questioning whether or not they can trust him because something happens to the captain of the boat where they now have to rely on each other to uh get to land and be rescued or figure out how they're gonna get to land. So it just pissed me the hell off, like, because she keeps on siding with Ben, uh, but then like all of a sudden she thinks that if she plays good cop, bad cop, then that thinks that Ben is gonna help them because Ben is the only one that has like survival skills or like boating skills out of all of them. None of them know how to sail a boat. Um, so like they lock Ben in the bathroom of the boat, and Emmy was saying to them, even though like why was she defending Ben then if she said that, you know, we should be nicer to him in order to like have him help us, you know, sail this boat. She was defending him when they locked him in the bathroom, saying, I don't think we should keep him in there. And then she's like crying about it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And then they end up having to let him out of the bathroom because something happens. And he starts choking Hannah. And he does it twice. And Emmy defends him both times. Well, you know, she's obviously screaming to get him off of her. But then, like, right after that happens, she, like, tries to comfort him and, like, throws a towel over him and, like, asks if he needs sunscreen and all this bullshit. And I'm like, regardless if she's trying to help him and good cop, bad cop, he just choked the shit out of your best friend. But also, like, teenage boys are fucking stupid, but also, like, even they would be like, yo, like, Jackson would be like, is there a reason why the fuck? I mean, like, Jackson obviously gets, like, why the fuck are you comforting him? But it's just, I don't know. So right now, they're still stranded. They're trying to ration food, but they might run out of water at this point. So we will see what happens. But so far, like, it's sitting at, like, a 3.5 right now. Maybe 3.75. Like, unless, you know, the ending, like, really builds up, it might be a 4-star, but I don't know. Maybe I've just outgrown YA thrillers at this point. I do love YA romantasy, though, or, like, YA fantasy is still great, but yeah. So I will check in when I finish the book, so bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. I wanted to let you guys know that I just finished What We Did to Survive by Megan Lowley. I wasn't going to hold it up again and tell you guys that I finished it. I'm a little torn because basically the biggest twist happened like 95% of the way through. And then I feel like things just kind of resolved a little bit too quickly. And then there was an epilogue of like a year later of what happened to them, you know, for graduation and everything. I guess it was the end of their junior year. I'm not really sure, but when they got shipwrecked. But anyway, something really sad happened at the end. And I just thought, you know, it was going to be a lot more of like, even though it was a fight for survival, and I felt like the main character basically, you know, carried the entire story, obviously, because it's in her head the whole time. But like both of the other characters, Emmy and Jackson, were both like really fucking annoying me at one point, and I'm like, dude, this girl is doing like everything for you guys. And I mean, Emmy did get injured, but the thing is that I can't really feel bad for Emmy because she's the one that got them into this whole mess. And I understand that they're teenagers and they don't really but it's not like they didn't understand what kind of situation they could possibly get themselves into. But like the person that died, and also actually, well, they were kind of brought to justice because more than one person supposedly died. So I'll just leave it at that. I think I'm going to give it maybe a 3.85 again. Just the first half was like really annoying me, especially with Emmy's character, that like I was thinking that, there was some parts that were really good, like 65% of the way through, and the way she was writing how Hannah was going to survive on the boat, those chapters were like pure thriller perfection. Like, she's still such a great writer, but then there's some lines of dialogue that just like pissed me off. But again, since I'm an older person reading a YA thriller, like, it does annoy you with some of the things that teenagers say, but at the same time, like, I'm just checking to see when the hell I'm leaving the house. I need to get ready soon in like the next 10 minutes. So anyway, yeah, it was okay. It wasn't like, but I just felt really sad at the end, and there was a few jaw-dropping moments, but I almost wish we had a little bit more, but at the same time, like, I appreciate how bingeable her books are, and this book took me absolutely no time to read. I started the audiobook last night and I finished it this afternoon. So I did read quite a bit on my Kindle earlier. I think I read like almost 50 pages. So I still read 50 pages of it. I only read like maybe 20 or something pages of it last night. And then I just listened to the rest of it. But I guess I read like 70 pages in total. So that's still a lot. So yeah, it was just a library loan. So it's not like I feel that guilty not reading it on my Libby app, because it's not a book I paid for. So yeah, it was okay. Um, yeah, I liked it, but I don't think, like I said, there's not going to be another That's Not My Name. I feel like that was a one hit. I don't feel like she's a one hit wonder. I just feel like, I guess I shouldn't say that. I feel like it's a little bit negative. It's just more like, I don't think they're going to hit as hard, which is similar to a one hit wonder, but as That's Not My Name. That, like I said, that book is pure YA thriller perfection. So it was good. They figured out how they needed to survive, and that was like the whole half of the second book. The boat was pretty much fucked at like 60% of the way through, and then they had to save Emmy and get her out of the boat. And then they find an uncharted island, like a completely uninhabited island. And they are there for like maybe 20% of the rest of the book, which I wish they were there a little bit longer. Because, it would have made it really interesting if they started like, going insane, but also like she was kind of getting a little bit dehydrated, hallucinations at one point. So yeah. But at least she had, someone else with her. Like, they kept on making Castaway jokes, but it's like Castaway. He was alone for a really long time, surviving on his own. And like, the reason why Castaway is so beloved is because it shows how much we are desperate for human contact. For me, if I just had like 5 billion books on a deserted island and made live streams and YouTube videos and ranted about books all the time, I probably would be fine. But I wouldn't be able to like scream and shout about it on the internet. So anyway, it was good. It wasn't like amazing, but I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying all of these books. I think Game On is going to be my least favorite. I already have a feeling. But so far, I didn't think any of these would be 5 stars, but we finished 3 out of, I think, 6 that we're reading. So we're going to go into this one next. I'm really getting FOMO about this book. I wasn't going to read this book. I possibly wasn't even going to read it in this video, but everyone and their mom is reading this book that right now, and that is Beneath by Ariel Sullivan. I knew that Conform was popular, but I didn't think it was like, it's like the #1 New York Times bestseller right now. Besides The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez, which I already read, obviously. But I believe this came out on the same day, actually. I didn't even realize that. And I didn't read The Night We Met in this video. I could have, but then that would just be new March releases, which I could do. But I already read it, and I'm already going to post my reading wrap-up about it. So these are all books that I couldn't really get to until the end, until like the beginning of April, because like I said, they all came out the 31st. So it's not like I could read them in March. So anyway, but this one did come out on the same day. This cover, like I said, is absolutely stunning. And I'm just really excited to read it. So this one says, hundreds of years before the alum ruled supreme, humanity risked everything to rebuild after a devastating war in this explosive dystopian romance and prequel to Conform. 23-year-old Sasha Cadell knows time is running out in the underground city, filled with survivors of the nuclear fallout 6 years ago. She works in the expansion sector, trying to escape the memories of those she lost. Her bleak existence is upended when Tristan Hayes, a stunningly handsome, frustratingly determined commander of the Force, sounds just like Silver Elite, to be honest. Oh, I just scratched that. What the hell? Recruits her to join him and his elite team of soldiers as they embark on a secret mission to the surface. It does sound like Silver Elite and Hunger Games, but we are going to be listening to Silver Elite soon in May before book 2 comes out. Sasha is thrust into brutal training with stakes far beyond mere survival. I don't think this is spoiling anything for Conform. The fate of the remaining humankind depends on their success or failure. Can I speak English? As she confronts her own demons, Sasha finds both allies and foes in the training program, as well as a sizzling attraction between her and Tristan that threatens the walls. It's spelled a little weird, like Tristian, with an I-A-N, which is weird. It's usually just A-N. That threatens the walls she's built around her heart. But under the surface, secrets and deception run as rampant as illnesses. And not everyone will survive the rise of a power more terrifying than anything they've ever known. Okay, that sounds good. I'm excited. I'm going to start it probably, I don't know if I'm going to start it today. I might start it later because I want to listen to more of Game On because I just need something that doesn't require too much brain power at the current moment. And then I'm probably going to listen to this tonight. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys. So I just want to give you guys an update on where I'm at in Game On by Navessa Allen. I decided to listen to a bit more of this. I'm at 43% now. I almost thought about DNFing this book. And it did get funnier, and there were some parts that I was really laughing my ass off at. But I'm struggling to figure out what is actually dark about this book. The banter is really funny between the two of them. It's a true enemies to lovers kind of plot. But besides that, there's nothing really that dark going on. The thing is that with dark romance, you gotta have not just a dark, brooding man who's into smutty stuff. But I feel like the main character of this, Tyler, the main male character of this, he's just a rich asshole. I'm not really loving the way that he's making fun of her. I actually really do enjoy Stella, though. I think she's a good character, but I just think that this series has run its course at this point. I think that Lights Out was kind of a one-hit wonder because everybody loved that book and it blew up, and then Caught Up was... Caught Up did have a darker plot. And, he was her stalker and whatever, but it was just ruined by the smut in it. It just overtook the plot and there was just too much smut in that book. But the thing is that with this, they're having this funny banter with each other, but there's nothing else really that dark going on. It's kind of feeling a lot more like just a contemporary romance book with the main female character struggling with I think it's gastritis or something like that, where you have trouble eating and bloating and stuff like that, which I'm not knocking any of that, of course. I deal with that too. But it's feeling like that would be a plot line of of course it's good that she tries to be relatable in the books and saying this character struggles with something and trying to connect with certain people that have that. But like, I don't know, the reason why I like Rena Kent's dark romances more, or like Nightshade, or even He Sees You When You're Sleeping, I actually really enjoyed that one too, is that there has to be like the same thing with like my romantasy books. There has to be a balance of the romance and fantasy in my romance books. Like they kind of be have to I mean romantasy books. They kind of have to be 50-50. And kind of the same with dark romance books. There has to be somewhat of a dark plot, but also like something dark that like the main male character's into, or even the female main character's into, would be kind of cool too. Um but there's nothing really like going on there that's like making me want to, give this. I think this book is sitting at a 3 star right now, but the fact that I'm almost halfway through and nothing really dark has happened yet, I'm just feeling like I'm reading a contemporary romance with a dark romance cover. So I don't know when I maybe he wears a mask at some point, but basically it's about that Stella is involved in like this accident that happens. And this girl, I forget her name. I think her name is Marge, something with an M. I can't remember exactly her name, even though they just talked about her. And she gets like really injured in it, and she's supposed to be covering her medical expenses. That we've just found that out. But uh Tyler, her Stella's brother owes Tyler like a lot of money, and Stella ends up um and Tyler's like a really rich guy. But again, I'm just getting like rich asshole vibes to him, but from him. But anyway, obviously, like her brother has not paid off his debt, so he asked her to date him because he comes into her tattoo shop, and then they start making out um in her tattoo chair, and he starts being like really attracted to her, and now they're fake dating. And it is funny, like I thought that that would be a really funny like dark romance plot with fake dating. um but again, there's nothing like, he did this to me, and then, it's like really hot. It's just like about like him getting hard and whatever, and I'm just like, okay, but where's like the, fun, like edge of your seat kind of like thrill of like a dark romance? And I'm like, I'm not really getting that. So anyway, but we're gonna continue on. But I feel like this is kind of up and down, but I'm still struggling to see where the dark plot line is coming in. That's why I like Beautiful Venom and Sweet Venom more. Even though there's some parts of it I don't love that she does to the female main characters, I do think Rena Kent, she's a pro at this point of balancing like her dark romance, her dark plots with also the dark uh past like that the characters have, or the reason why they're into the things that they are. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see when I'm done with it. Okay, so hey there, guys. So I wanted to let you guys know that I did finish, I think, the 4th book for this video at this point. I finished all the books that came out March 31st, and the last one was Game On by Navessa Allen, so I just finished that earlier today. And I was listening to it over the last few days. I did not like this at all. I kind of hated it. I really didn't like it at all. My thoughts pretty much stayed the same. I honestly really wanted to DNF this book because I really need to do that like more often, but also, like I said, I just wanted to finish the trilogy, and this was the last book in the trilogy, and I really just feel like, again, this series really went downhill after the first one. Like, which is a shame. Like, I really did want to like this one. Like, I thought I was going to like it a lot more than Caught Up. But I really feel like giving this book a 1 star. I hated it. I hated it. And I don't want to be mean, but like there was so many things that were wrong with this book. Like she was kind of making fun. You know what I felt like I was reading? It felt like I was reading Ali Hazelwood's Deep End, but dark romance. Make a dark romance. Like Deep End was kind of like making a bit of a mockery of BDSM. This was making a mockery of someone being bisexual and white shoes. And I really didn't like it because that was the kink, and because Tyler has this brat kink, that's the main reason why it's a dark romance. And also the plot, why am I saying the plot? The plot made no fucking sense, okay? And it was just, they got together way too late in the book. And then, this is not even a spoiler, but why did she put this in the bonus chapter of saying that this is when he was in love with her? She put it all the way at the end, saying that Tyler has been in love with her since, like, Lights Out, pretty much. So now we find out that he's been in love with her this whole time, when we already knew that he was in love with her. And also, like, towards the end of the book, he, like, says internally, of the love of my life, but they hadn't even verbalized saying that I love you to each other. But then all of a sudden they say it at the end. And I was like, but when did they say this? Because he said this before. They hadn't even said it to each other. And I understand that's like, you know, a feeling that you're going to have inside first. But also in books, like, there needs to be I feel like, you know, that scene would have been beneficial in the beginning where he was, you know, pining after her, but also at the same time, you know, I just did not like how mean he was to her. Like, that's not a dark romance. That's just being an asshole. Like, there was absolutely, like I said, nothing dark about this fucking plot. Like, there was no plot of this fucking story. Like, it just frustrated me because I'm like, what is dark? What is dark? And then literally the last, like, 30% is all just Tyler's brat kink with her. And I'm just like, even the reason behind it doesn't justify how mean he is to her. She never did anything to him. Like, I don't know if I missed something. Sorry if my voice is cracking. I don't know if I missed something, though. Because I'm like, did I miss why he hates her? It's only because she had rich parents and parents that took care of her. Yes, her parents aren't, like, the best. But there's no reason to hate her. And then, you know, he secretly loves her because we all knew it was enemies to lovers. Duh. But, like, I don't know. The banter kind of got old after, like, 50% of the way through. I hated the rest of it. I was like, oh, maybe it's going to get a little bit better. And I was waiting for the dark plot to happen. And even after we found out why Tyler is so mean to her, I didn't like it. I didn't like the reason. I was like, it just gave me the ick. I was just like, this is just, it's not even the ick. It was just stupid. It was just fucking stupid. And again, I really thought I was going to like this book more so than Caught Up. But Caught Up got ruined because of the, like, too much smut. And this, like, either wasn't enough or there was, like, no plot. There was no dark romance plot. I felt like I was reading a contemporary romance masquerading as a dark romance. And I understand why Lights Out was like that. Because Lights Out blended contemporary romance and dark romance perfectly together. And the way that it meshed and how funny it was. And honestly, I thought the best chapter of this book was from what's her name? I think her name is Allie in the first book, right? Allie's dog's perspective. From the first book, there was a bonus chapter in this book with the dog because if you guys have read Lights Out, this is not spoiling anything, but Josh breaks into Allie's apartment and Allie has a dog. And this is all from the dog's perspective, and it was hysterical. But besides that, I was hoping to see if the bonus chapters would add any kind of, plot or like something that I missed or so. Maybe that's why I didn't like it that much. No, it did not do anything for me at the end. So unfortunately, this was a miss for me. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. It just bothered me that there was no reason behind why what's her name? I don't even remember the girl's name in this book. Tyler and I can't remember her name. I mean, it's not even important anymore. Why do I feel like it's not Vanessa? I mean, that's too close to Nevessa Allen. Stella. They also never explained why, like, Stella was into the kink that she was into. And usually in, like, dark romances, you want to see, like, why they're curious about this or why they're into this. Dark romance, again, is not just smut. It's not just playing with certain, not just throwing in that he's bisexual, throwing in that he's wide shoes. You have to explain why he is. Like, not that being bisexual is, like, there's no explanation for that. But, like, I don't know. There was just no buildup. There was no tension. I was not on the edge of my seat at all in this book to figure out how they were going to solve something. It was just nonstop banter, which was funny at certain points. But then after the 50% mark, I was like, okay, the banter was really funny up to that point. But then after that, I was really hoping we would get more of a buildup of a plot, and we didn't. So, yeah, I'm done talking about it. I didn't like it at all. So, I wanted to give you guys an update on where I'm at in Beneath by Ariel Sullivan. I decided to read this book in this video because this is, like, probably the book of the moment right now. It's, like, number 2 on, like, the New York Times bestselling list, I believe. But it's in, like, the top 3 with The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez is number 1 and Project Hail Mary. So everybody's reading this book right now. So I really wanted to pick it up and start reading it. I think I told you guys that this was going to be the next one that I was going to read. Again, cover is absolutely stunning. I don't know why this is like one of the most stunning covers I've ever seen, but I love it. So right now I'm on page 212. I am really enjoying this book. Like, the complete opposite, and I love how my Rizan shirt, like, goes with this perfectly. But this is so much better than Conform. I love that the main character is not predictable. I love how much they explain that she has went through. And I love, like, her journey right now through the unit that she's in. It's just so intriguing. I'm having a great time with this book. So I really think Ariel Sullivan's writing grew so much from Conform. Conform was still, it was good, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with it like everybody else is. I gave it a 3.5 or like a 3.75 because I wasn't really that into it. But this has some serious potential to be like a 4.5 at least. So basically, what's her name again? The main character. Why am I shouting? I don't know why I'm always shouting. Sasha. So Sasha Cadell is like a medical healer. She's a nurse and doctor pretty much. And she is trying to figure out where she belongs because humanity is pretty much like living underground at this point, and that's why it's called Beneath. And there's so much meaning to this name besides living underground. I don't want to go too much into that unless you read it, but please read Conform first. I don't know if there's that many spoilers, but I would suggest you read it in publication order because she did come out with Conform a few months back. But I'm loving this. This is so good. So basically, Sasha has lost her whole family, and she's trying to figure out like where she belongs, like, and this unit, I believe it's Unit 12, like District 12. I forget what unit. I don't think it's exactly Unit 12. It might be Unit 13. I can't remember. But I know it's like a higher number. Anyway, this man named, why can't I remember their names right now? I know it's in Tristan. Duh, it's in the synopsis. He brings her into his unit because they need a healer. So, obviously she starts falling for Tristan, but there hasn't been any, like, real chemistry between them yet, but I'm eating it up because, like, I'm not, like, obsessed with them. I'm just, like, so curious about how their relationship develops because the story, I'm so interested in the plot right now. So basically, she is immune to any of like the diseases or the plagues that have hit humanity. And they call her Death Angel because she seems to be immune to all these, diseases happening. Like kind of similar to Maze Runner, all except like they don't turn into zombies, they just die. They just die out because they don't have anything to cure them. So, she has had a reputation of being like immune, so that's why Tristan takes her into his unit. So of course she starts falling for him and he starts training her because she's actually never had any like, well, she's actually a very strong fighter, but she's never had like traditional training. And they're like, wow, you've like taken out like 3 men. So she has like, there's not really any like magical abilities, but she has like, certain, talents. And I'm sure it's a big part as to why she's immune to these diseases. That's going to play out towards, the end. So I'm very excited to see what happens. So right now we're at the point where they have just come to the surface and it's usually not safe for them, but they have to travel to this other unit to save them. Like kind of similar again to Hunger Games, but because like the districts, this is units instead. But also like humanity's not completely extinct, but if they don't save them, humanity could be extinct. So that's all I'm going to say right now. And she hasn't been to the surface in like 6 years, ever since her family died. So, she, kind of made it her sworn, oath to not, or like really just not ever return to the surface again. So when she comes up, she's very hesitant to go. But she knows that she can count on her unit. Like, she's not stupid. And I really like her character a lot. So, and I'm not finding this as predictable as Conform. Like, maybe I'm thinking, like, a couple things will happen. But, like, it's such an intriguing story that it doesn't really bother. I really haven't thought that many things have been that predictable in this at all. So, I'm really curious to see where this goes. So, I will update you guys when I'm done. Rant over. But at least I'm really enjoying the next book that I went into. So, yeah. Bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. Wanted to let you guys know that I did finish the last book for this video. I'm going to end this reading vlog here because it's just going to be too many books read in one video. I would have ended up reading like 7 or 8, and I'm like, that's too many. I think 5 is enough. So we ended up reading all the March releases in this video. So I'm just going to call it the March 2026 March new releases. So I just finished Beneath by Ariel Sullivan. And I think that this was my favorite book that I read in this video. I'm giving it a 4.5 stars. It was just wonderful, good writing. I didn't cry though. I really thought I was gonna cry in this, but no one really died that I thought, that would make me cry. Like, I teared up a little bit, but nothing really too crazy. But I'm so excited to see where the rest of this series goes. And also, like, the cliffhanger was not really, like, that insanely brutal at the end. I mean, it was definitely a good cliffhanger, but, like, I think I could wait for it. So I'm not going to really say much else of what happened in the second half of the book because I think that's going to be really spoilery. I just want to say that the build-up was so worth it, and I just thought it was such a good dystopian fantasy book. And also there wasn't really that many, like, smutty scenes. It was more so that, like, Tristan just really, really cared about, oh my god, what's the main character's name? I am blanking. What is her name? Oh my god. I cannot remember her name right now. Really, really cared about her. I'm just gonna say that. I don't know why the hell I can't remember her name at this current moment. I am running on zero sleep for the past, like, I don't even know how long. It's just terrible, and my throat is killing me. I ate, like, the spicy food yesterday. I mean, not that spicy, but since I'm supposed to be on an anti-inflammatory diet right now because I'm taking an anti-inflammatory for my foot, because I've had foot pain for a while in this foot, and I've been wearing, like, a brace and, like, a sleeve every day for this foot, and you're not supposed to really have, like, spicy stuff, especially spicy mayo if you have, like, sushi or something. And I had sushi yesterday with my two girlfriends, and yeah. So anyway, this was great. I really loved the relationship between Tristan and her. I don't know why the hell her, like, why can I only remember her last name? It's really bothering me. Why don't I just look at it on my phone? Duh. Why do I have to grab the physical book? Idiot. Let me see. Sasha. I knew it started with an S. Tristan and Sasha. So yeah. Basically they have to try to figure out which units that they can work with, and a lot of betrayals happen at the end of the book, so that's what's really happening, and whose loyalty they can count on within their unit, but also other units too, because that's just human nature. Like, even though humanity is being threatened to be extinct, there's still people that are trying to fend for themselves or get their power, get, what they want over, like, what they should do for humanity. So it's just really good. And honestly, this book was very deeply political, and also someone said in one of their reviews that she is paying attention to the current political climate right now. So yeah, definitely very futuristic on something that could possibly happen, because it's a nuclear wasteland pretty much. So yeah, it was great. So anyway, let's rank the 5 books that we read in this video. So hey there guys. So I did come back and cut off that last part of the previous clip because I ended up reading 6 books in this video, not 5. So now we are going to rank all the books that we read in this video, the 6 books that we read. So I have to re-record this clip, but it's fine. So number 6 is Game On by Navessa Allen. I gave it a 2 stars. I'm not going to say all my thoughts on these books because you've heard all of them throughout the video. I just did not like this book. You guys already know. Number 5 was What We Did to Survive by Megan Lowley. I gave this a 3.85 stars. It was intriguing and it kept me on the edge of my seat, but I didn't love it. I don't think anything's gonna top That's Not My Name. Then number 4 was Starside by Alex Astor. I still had a really good time with this book. It was good, not like amazing, but it was really fun, and I'm excited for the next book. I also gave it a 3.85 stars. Then number 3 was The Faraway Inn by Sarah Beth Durst. I believe I gave it a 4-star, 4.25, not really sure. It's just so cute. I actually met her yesterday, and she signed my copy of The Faraway Inn. Actually, I should grab that. But that's the whole reason why I read the book, was because I wanted to go to the author's event. She is literally the freaking cutest, and she's hilarious. Oh my god, she's so funny. I don't think I actually read this one where she signed it. And I asked her a couple of questions during the questionnaire portion, and she's just adorable. I just really love her. I love her books, and I will continue reading all of her books and supporting her. She's just beyond sweet. So yeah, loved that. And then number 2 was The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. Even though I didn't love this one, it was still my second favorite book in this video because I love her writing. So 4.25 stars. And then number 1 was Beneath by Ariel Sullivan, 4.5 stars. Really surprised that this was my favorite. Really unexpected on how much I loved this, but the writing was just so good. It almost was a 5-star if I would have cried more at the end. I think my last romantasy 5-star was Daggermouth. That didn't come out in March, but that was the other book that I read for my highly anticipated releases. Or books I was really excited to read. I did give that book a 5-star. I love that book so much. Oh my god. I think that was my last 5-star romantasy, I believe. That was only a couple of weeks ago though. So yeah, anyway, my throat is dead. I don't know why I've talked this much. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CBW819 and check out my Goodreads and my TikTok listed below in the description box. And I hope you guys have a great day and keep reading, and let me know if any of these books are on your TBR. And if you've read any of them, let me know. Also, I finally got my ACOTAR sweatshirt from Target. I finally found a small, so because it's been sold out everywhere. I have the Team Rizan one that I wear all the time. That's the only other one I've been able to find in my size, but actually that one's an extra small, but it does fit a lot less fitting than the other two, but this one I found in a small. I was so happy that I found it, so I had to snatch it up and buy it. So yeah, because it's sold out everywhere online as well. So anyway, bye!